let's take a look at a few of the narcissist's favourite sayings, which can also be what people can potentially say to a narcissistic person in their defence. So when people claim these to be the narcissist's favourite sayings, those who have found themselves in a position to be saying them to a narcissist can then suddenly question if they are or are not the narcissistic one. So one of these phrases that a narcissistic person will say to you is, "Stop interrupting me," which is in a form the narcissist projection, as narcissistic people are not interested in listening to what you have to say to them. Only in the beginning, when they're getting to know all about you, getting to know how they can work you, will they be interested in listening to you. Once they've got the information that they need, they're no longer interested in listening to you. Whenever you go to approach them about something that they're not interested in discussing, they're going to change the subject onto something else. And whenever you try to bring it back round to the topic at hand, they're going to accuse you of interrupting them. Whenever you're sharing your good news with them, they're going to interrupt you and talk about how they've done something far better than you. Yet if you try to bring it back onto yourself, they're going to accuse you of interrupting them, because they're looking to steer the direction of the conversation into where they want the conversation to go. As a narcissistic person is most likely going to continue to interrupt you because it's all about them, so they want to bring the topic of conversation back onto themselves and what they want to discuss, you might ask them to stop interrupting you, to which they are then going to morph into the victim of, "Oh, I knew I'd be in the wrong. Oh, I knew I wouldn't get it right." And they're going to just finalise the conversation by often stomping off so that they don't have to discuss things with you. The narcissist stonewalling. Or they could just retaliate with something along the lines of, "Oh, you never listen to me. You never pay attention to what I have to say. Yet you always expect me to listen to you. You always want me to listen to what you've got to say." Again, this more often than not is the narcissist projection at its finest. They're looking to get you to question and doubt yourself. They're looking to get you to shut up. They've often got no interest in listening to you. However, due to their sense of superiority, they expect you to pay full attention to them. And they only want to discuss things that are of importance to them. Anything else, they're not interested in. So they're going to accuse you of not listening to them, so that you're the one that feels bad, so that you put down your thoughts or your opinions and, hopefully in the narcissist's favour, take on board the narcissist. If only you hadn't, or you know what I'm like. Narcissistic people will hurt you and then claim that in some way it was your fault that they hurt you, when it's not your fault. That is their behaviour, that is what they did, and that is how they hurt you. And when somebody is unwilling to, at the very least, recognise how they've hurt you, let alone apologise for how they've hurt you, when they're unwilling to recognise, when they're unwilling to apologise, when they're unwilling to be remorseful, when they're unwilling to repair the damage that they've caused, they are going to repeat this behaviour and they're going to do it again. And when you forgive them and they do it again, they're just going to turn around and say, "Well, you know what I'm like." They're shifting the blame onto you for their behaviour because they're failing to take responsibility for their behaviour. And as they fail to take responsibility for their behaviour, they fail to change their behaviour. Or they could just turn around and claim, "Well, if you hadn't," so that they can shift the blame over to you. you don't know how lucky you are. You don't know how good you've got it. And then they'll proceed to tell you about how your neighbours have got it far worse than you, how one of their friends' partners has it far worse than you. Only they're often describing exactly what that narcissistic person is doing to you, yet claiming that the friend or the neighbour is doing it to their partner. It's a way that they get out of their system what they're actually doing to you. It's a way they almost tell on themselves and get to see your reaction, get to see your look of shock at how somebody can mistreat or hurt another person. Even though the narcissist is the very person that's doing that to you, that's cheating on you, that's lying to you, that's got some toxic addiction that they're hiding from you. They're going to claim that somebody else has that or somebody else has done that, and that, well, you've got it quite lucky because I'm not treating you like this, which most often is exactly how they are treating you. They're just lying to you about it, gaslighting your reality so that you cannot see what they're doing to you. So they're going to go on and on about how lucky you are to try and create that appreciation within you so that you back off, so that you don't go and discuss things with them, so that you don't ask them about things, so that you leave them to their sense of entitlement, to let them do as they please with no regard to how they hurt you. You make mountains out of molehills. Here you go, overreacting again. Why can't you let go of the past? Are you really bringing this up again? You can never discuss something with a narcissistic person because they're going to interrupt you and then accuse you of interrupting them. Or you can't discuss something with them because they're going to accuse you of not listening to them every time you try to put your point of view across, or they're going to claim that you've got it so good that you should be grateful and appreciative towards them. Nothing ever gets resolved around them, and things begin to build up. One little thing gets swept under the rug, and then another and another and another, and things build up into that mountain that you've found yourself climbing up a one-way battle to hell. And nothing gets resolved, nothing gets solved. So things naturally get brought back up, to which is going to negatively impact your emotional welfare. And then a narcissist is going to accuse you of being the one that's overreacting or not letting things go or being hung up on your past, when it's them that's creating that reality, yet they're gaslighting you into believing that you're the one that's responsible for the problems within the relationship that the narcissist is actually causing within the relationship, because they fail to communicate, because they lack empathy, because they fail to care. They're only interested in getting their own needs met. You've ruined this morning. You've ruined today. You've ruined this outing. You've ruined your own birthday. You've ruined my birthday. You've ruined the holidays. Whatever it is, where a narcissist isn't feeling like the centre of attention, they're going to go all out and ruin. And then they're going to blame you for being the one that ruined it, so that they can get away with it, so that they can repeat it. And when it comes to a narcissistic person, they're seeking that excessive attention. So if they're not getting the attention they believe they're entitled to, they're going to go all out to ruin whatever it is for you, to sabotage whatever it is for you. They're not going to take responsibility. Instead, they're going to shift the blame onto you so they can remove any feelings of shame within themselves and pass it over to you. And then when they inevitably ruin something again and you bring it up, they turn around and say, oh, I knew it would be my fault. You always blame me. I'm sorry, I forgot you were perfect. So again, you're the one that then ends up feeling bad for them. You're the one that ends up trying to justify yourself to them. You're the one that ends up trying to listen to them and care about them and reassure them, all while they devalue you and put you down and confuse you and insult you. You can't have that open two-way communication with a narcissistic person. You cannot have sincere communication with insincere people. They're just going to lie to you. They're going to twist the topic of conversation. They're going to deceive you. They're going to punish you. They're going to go all out to get their needs met by you and then get you to doubt and blame yourself when they walk out on you, when they're not there for you. They're going to accuse you of being the one with the problem because they don't take responsibility for their behaviour. And there's nothing you can do. It's who they are. It's the programming that they're running from. And while people keep forgiving them, it actually enables them. Not that we know this at the time, however, it does enable them. And the more we forgive a narcissistic person, the worse their treatment of us gets. When it comes to dealing with narcissistic people, no contact is always the best method. Not always possible, in which case it needs to be limited contact and grey rock. I shall link in the description the playlist on rules to deal with narcissistic people. If anyone has any of the narcissist favourite sayings that you heard them come out with, because there are plenty of them, please add those into the comments for those reading through. Thank you very much for the returning subscribers, and your continued support with the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, then please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.